everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. Before we get started, be sure that you are subscribed here on YouTube. It's totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you as part of my crafty family. In today's video, we're going to go over everything that you need to know about working with Printable HTV for dark fabrics. We're going to be using the StarCraft brand for darks and I absolutely love this product. It holds up really well in the wash. You can see how vibrant and beautiful the colors come out, and it's really easy to apply. We're going to go over how to set up your design, how to cut it, how to apply it, all the fun things. So let's go ahead and get started.
Whatever we would do, we do it just for fun.
Now before we get started over in Design Space, I just want to tell you a few little things about the For Darks product. For Darks is a really great product because it can work on light colored shirts as well as dark colored shirts, so it's super versatile. What's great about it is it has a white background, which you can see around our little cactus here, so it really makes those colors super vibrant on dark shirts. Now I did leave the white edging on this so that it was easier for you to see that it does have a white background. One thing that's also really great about the For Darks is that you don't mirror your image. You print it just as you would any other design, no mirroring required for it, and it's super easy to apply with a heat press. A heat press is recommended for these products as it gives a better even temperature, even pressure, and it does require a little bit of a higher heat to work with. When pressing this, you press this at 350 degrees for 30 seconds. When washing this product, I do recommend that you wash it inside out in cold water only, and I preference to do a line dry on it. My dryer gets really hot, and so I don't like to put these in the dryer, but if you are going to dry them, I do recommend a low heat setting, but really line drying is going to be your best bet for the longest lasting design wear. We're going to use these Kawaii Cute cactus stickers from Creative Fabrica. I will link them down below for you. So I'm going to show you how to download, extract, all the things. So what I'm going to do is click on the download button and it's going to bring up a folder and ask me where I want to save it. So I'm going to save it into my Cricut folder, and then for this one I am going to save it as a print then cut. So I'm going to save it right here, and then I usually just change the name or at least remove the numbers at the back of the name because I don't really need it. Go ahead and click save. You want to open up the file once it's done downloading because we need to extract the folder. So I'm going to open that up and it's going to open up this big folder full of stuff. What you want to do is click extract all and then just simply click extract. Now it is going to extract all of your files, so you just need to give it a second. You can close your extracted folder because we don't need that anymore. And then from here, we can kind of look and choose which cactus we want to use for our design. So I am going to click through these really quick and we can just take a look and see which one is the one that we want to use. There's a lot of really cute little options. I kind of like this one because I like all the colors. I think that one will be really nice for a print then cut, but there are so many cute ones. I am just not sure which one I want to use, but I think let's do the one that I liked that had all the colors, this one here, or the one with the other ones. I don't know. I like this guy because I like that he's got a cute little face. This one's got a face on the pot. Let's do the guy with the face on the cactus. So let's do this one. So let's head over to Design Space. I'll show you how to upload. In your new project, click the upload option and click upload image. Now from here, you can browse for your image or just leave the folder open and you can drag and drop. I'm going to drag and drop, so I'm just going to click on this and drag him over into the Cricut Design Space. Now, these files are pretty big because they are high quality files, so it might take a second, but what you want to do is choose Complex. I'm going to choose Continue, and then from here we don't need to do anything because this is a PNG with an already removed background. Now you could get rid of this white offset if you wanted to, but for me, I kind of like it and would rather leave it on there because I think it'll look nice against the shirt. And you'll see why having that item kind of makes a difference. So what I'm going to do now is just click Apply and Continue. And we're going to want to save this as the print then cut image, which is the image on the right hand side. So it's this full color design. You can always add it to one of your collections. So I'll just add it to my print then cut collection and click upload. Once it's into your recently uploaded images, go ahead and click on it and add it to your canvas. Now, this part might take a minute depending on how large the image is. This image, as you can see, is pretty big, so just keep that in mind that it might take a second. Now, he is very large, so we're going to size him down, and we know that using Print and Cut at this current time, we can print 6.75 by 9.25. So I'm going to go ahead and just change him to 6.75 wide. And he's going to be about 7.96 tall. Now, he is going to be a little bit small, but I think it'll be fine. It's not really a big deal. There are options for larger Print and Cut in Design Space. However, they had some issues, so that option has currently been removed, but it will eventually be back. But for this tutorial, we'll just do it like this. So once he's pretty much good to go, you really don't have to do anything to your image other than size it. If you want to add offsets and things like that, you can, but for an image like this, it does not require it. We're printing with the Printable for Dark, so anything that is not colored in, meaning it's white or it is transparent, will show as white against the shirt. So for example, I'll just show you what it would look like. Like, let's say we're going to put this on a blue shirt. This is what it would look like against blue. It's got that white outline. I actually think it looks kind of cute, so we're going to go ahead and make sure to leave the white outline. But like I showed you before, you could remove it. Now from here, once he's ready to go and he's ready to do Print and Cut, all you have to do is click Make It. But what I do recommend is that you do make sure to click Save before you do anything else, because a lot of times when you hit Make It, it can kind of mess up, and I just would rather not have to sit here and upload him, resize him, all the things. So I just like to save him, and it's good to go. Now we hit Make It, and you'll see you have your little cactus all ready to go, ready to print. Now we're going to be printing on the StarCraft Printable HTV 4 Darks. So this product does not get mirrored. When you're printing on a 4 Darks product or a 4 Lights product, you want to make sure that you are reading the directions because they can differ depending on the brand. But this one here is StarCraft 4 Darks, and for this, again, do not mirror your image. There's no reason to, and it'll make more sense when you see how it's applied to the shirt. But from here, all we have to do is simply print him. So I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. And what I'm going to do is choose Send to Printer. Now, this is not going to send it to your printer right away. It is important to note what kind of ink you can use with your Printable HTV as well. So make sure that you read that. For this product, we're using inkjet ink, which is what most home printers are. I'm going to be using my ET2720 from Epson, and I don't need to leave the bleed on because he's just got a white outline, so there's really no reason for bleed. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the bleed off. I am going to turn on the system dialog. I'm going to hit print, and what turning on the system dialog does is it's going to bring up a preferences box for your printer so that you're going to be able to change some settings to make sure that you get a really good quality print. So from here, I'm going to make sure that the printer you want to use is selected. So this is my ET2720. And then I want to go to Preferences. And from here, I just want to check a few settings and change just a couple things. First, make sure the correct document size is listed. Then you want to just make sure that your quality, I always change mine to usually standard, vivid, or high. For this one, I like to do high just because there are so many colors. And then I just want to make sure that the color is selected and not black grayscale. There's one more thing that you'll want to change, and it's really important. Go under More Options. You'll note that there's a high-speed print option. Now, some printers have bidirectional print, and that's basically the same thing as high speed. You want to make sure to click that box so that it's off. You don't want it to print high speed because that causes a lot of the lines when it comes to your prints and can really kind of make your image look kind of icky and cheap. So what I have to do from here now is just click OK and click Print, and we're going to send it to our printer. This is our image on StarCraft for Darks, which gives you that red logo, and it does say For Dark material on it. Now you'll want to make sure that you load this onto your mat in the direction that it's facing on your design space. So for this one, we want to make sure that that top is facing up. So I'm going to go ahead and load this on to my mat. I'm using a blue mat, which works great for these because these are kind of more of a paper product. And I just want to make sure that it's well held down. Now with this one, I am going to cut this on the rice paper setting because we don't want to cut all the way through our paper. We only want to cut enough that it's just going to cut that top layer, because for this one we do peel it off of the backing. So I'm just going to make sure that's well stuck down. It really actually doesn't look like it wants to stick very well in that corner, but we're just going to go ahead. It should be fine. So I'm going to load my machine, and what's going to happen is it's going to turn on a little light in the center of the carriage. That is the sensor that tells Design Space where to cut on your design. So it will read all of the different lines so that it knows where your image is on the page. It's going to cut that out, and then what we'll do is unload it, and I'm going to show you a trick to removing your image from the backing. Now, just like with other projects, I always want to check that cut before I unload. Now, like I said, with this project, we don't want to take the backing fully off, so we don't want it to cut all the way through. We just want it to cut through enough that we're able to lift the design from the backing. So what I'm going to do is find an edge of the design, and I'm just going to kind of stick my pin pen under it and see if it looks like I can actually get the design off. It looks like it cut okay. Now, it will be a little difficult to get it off of the backing. That's just the nature of this product. But this product is such a good quality that I don't mind the little extra bit of work. So I'm just going to get that pin pen under there, and then what I want to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to see if I can, in fact, fairly easily lift this off of the backing. Yep, looks like it's gonna be good. We're gonna need to go slow, but you always wanna go slow with these. So I think we're good to unload our design. So now that I've started kind of peeling it off, we're gonna go ahead and pop it off of the mat, which it should come off pretty easy. I think this mat might need to be washed. But what I'm gonna do from here is just very, very gently kind of work my hand around the design and just gently peel it away from the backing. You can kind of see how we have the design here, and then this is the paper backing that it comes on. So just take your time and peel this off. Now, you can use a transfer mask if you have a project that has a lot of details to it, but personally, I do not like to use the transfer mask, and I don't like to do these types of designs with lots of pieces anyways. But if you do, there's a transfer mask option, and I will link it down below. It's just not something that I personally enjoy using or really use much at all. So now we're getting up to the part where we've got a few little like turns and things. So I'm just going to use my hand and just gently kind of follow those little curves around, get my finger right along that edge, and just follow that edge around. Now what you'll see is we have our little design independent from the backing. You can pretty much toss this. You're not going to really be able to use it again. But now we have our little cactus all ready to go and be put on our garment. So we're working with a dark colored shirt. That is one of the things that I really want to point out to you when working with the 4 darks. It works on lights or darks, but to really give you a look at how this is going to look, I want to use a dark shirt. Now this is pressed at 350 degrees for 30 seconds. You want to press it with the image up, so you don't want to put the white side down. You want to put that white side on the shirt. And then I always put the image on my shirt while it's on the press. I just find that easier personally for me, but if you want to do it the other way, that's fine. You can, especially if you're using the transfer mask. Now for this, I'm going to try to get it as centered as I can. Just kind of figure out where I want him to sit. And usually I do about 3 fingers down from the collar, and then I just use my hands to kind of figure out about where center is, and then I just want to kind of get him a little more centered and a little straight, and I think that looks pretty good. Now again, you can use a t-shirt ruler for this. A lot of people do. I'm not real good with a t-shirt ruler. I actually find them harder to use for me personally. I'm pretty good at eyeballing, so I like to do it that way. Now I have pre-pressed the shirt to remove any wrinkles or moisture. Super helpful, especially when working with the printable 4 darks from StarCraft. Now our press needs to cool down just a little bit because I did press something prior to this. So as soon as it's at 350, we're going to press this at a medium firm pressure. And if you were using a heat transfer mask, you would want to do a cold peel to remove the masking from it. But since we're not using a masking, we won't need to do any of that peeling. Now it is down to the 350, so we're going to go ahead and press this for 30 seconds. Once it's done, go ahead and open up your press, and it might stick a little bit to your Teflon sheet. Totally normal. You can also press with parchment paper. I'm going to go ahead and let this cool down a little bit, and then I'll show you a nice close view. The Printable HTV 4 Darks from StarCraft is so vibrant, so beautiful, and I want to show you a nice up close so you can see how crisp and clean it really is. Such a beautiful product. And again, this really shows you that white area that shows because this is printed on a white background. Unlike when you do lights, the 4 Darks is on this white background so that it really shows up on a dark shirt. If you were to try to put lights on a dark shirt, you're not going to see the image at all, but with the 4 Darks, because of that white background on it, it allows that color to really pop. This is such a fun and easy product to use, and if you have any questions that I didn't cover in the video, by all means leave those in the comments below and I will answer those for you. Be sure that you subscribe, that way you don't miss out on any of the other crafty content we have, and make sure that you are always being creative, having fun, and it's okay to make mistakes. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting!